On this week's episode, we will be reviewing Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing. We'll also have a chat about the new trailer from Yorgos Lanthimos, and that's not my fourth time trying to say his name, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, and we'll fill the rest of the time with some other nonsense, no doubt. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Geeks. I'm one of your hosts, Daz, and I'm joined, as always, by my trusty co-host, Phil. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah. Just enjoying a nice long week off of doing fucking nothing. It was great.
Nice.
Just messing around for the dog's first time in the water. It's great down the beach a few times just because the weather was decent. Nice. So it was nice and relaxing. I didn't end up building my Lego. I played video games, spent a lot of time wandering around with the dog, and just tried to do as little as possible. So I'm dreading going back to doing work tomorrow, but it is what it is.
Oh, wow.
For yourself?
Good, yeah. Just didn't have a week off, but a few days off, and Ali was in London, so I had the kids for the weekend, and of course you think you get a lie-in on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning. No, they're up at 6 o'clock in the morning, just like, wake up, thanks, let's go, let's play. So I'm fucking exhausted. But yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into this week's movie. But before that, let's chat about some news. Any news or trailers come out?
I suppose we could start that you mentioned in the intro, the Bugonia trailer. It looks great. Like I know we already saw in the teaser, a while back, but to see the full trailer on the big screen was great this week. It was on before this week's movie, which was deadly. I know it's a remake of a Korean movie apparently from like 20 years ago. The name of which I'm not even going to fucking attempt. But yeah, no, it looks right up my street. It looks really, really funny. And, the cast obviously is fantastic. I can't wait to see that one. You enjoyed that yourself?
Yeah, it's great. Like it looks like it's hilarious. Jesse Plemons, I think himself and another guy are playing just complete lunatics who believe that Emma Stone's CEO is an alien from another planet who wants to destroy the Earth. Just like, okay, perfect setup. And there's a lot of comedic beats. And it looks a little more straightforward, I guess, than some of his previous movies. Yeah. Although I was checking his IMDb. I've only seen Poor Things from this guy. That's the only fucking movie that I've seen. I was looking back through his movies. I haven't seen Any Kind of Kindness. I didn't see that. The Favourite, Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, and they're all supposed to be fantastic. So I need to up my game in terms of his movies because Poor Things was great. But this looks fantastic, and it's out in October, which is like bring it on. I love that.
I don't because I remember the original or the kind of teaser for it that was released a while back, but there wasn't a big fuss or anything made of it. Whereas this is obviously now. It's been plastered everywhere, the full trailer when it came out, which is great. But I'll watch anything with Emma Stone and she's fucking brilliant. So it should be good. Absolutely,
yeah. But he's churning them out pretty quickly because you still think of Poor Things as just quite recent, but this is like two movies on from it. The trailer's it's great. It's edited really well, and the performances are brilliant, and this banging song or whatever blasting through it, and just looks fucking great. There was actually another trailer that I didn't mention to you beforehand, but just before we came on, I saw Shane Black is a new movie with
Play Dirty, is it or something?
Yeah, Play Dirty. And just like, I'll watch anything with Mark Wahlberg now, especially after that, what was that plane movie we watched?
Flight Risk, is it?
Flight Risk, yeah. You all need a pilot. Just like, but this looks like it might be a bit of a higher caliber, kind of a crime caper, Marky Mark leading a band of misfits and like the mob robbing the mob, some shit like that. It looks like fucking same old with Shane Black on directing and writing duties. That's only out, and I think that's out in October as well, but only on streaming. So
that's only the only other trailer. Same for me. I watched the only a couple of bits of news I had. One of them was that the Mortal Kombat 2 movie is being delayed from was supposed to be October. It's pushed back to May next year.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's a great sign. Yeah,
It's
probably amazing.
The other part, do you remember I was talking to the Irish director, Damien McCarthy? He directed Oddity, which was really, really good. But he's now directing a movie called Hokum with Adam Scott. So it's a horror writer visits an Irish inn to scatter his parents' ashes unaware that the property, what's called, it contains a witch or used to contain a witch. So no doubt all sorts of mad shit will be going on. So I don't know if Adam Scott's playing an Irishman or whether he's like come home to spread the ashes. I'd be interested to hear him doing an Irish accent. But yeah, that's just, so I'm looking forward to that. But that's everything I have on my end news wise. What about yourself? Anything else?
A few bits. There's a new Knight Rider movie coming out from the guys who made Cobra Kai.
For real?
Like, oh no,
Cobra Kai's fucking great though.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's just it's kind of like I guess Knight Rider is so, the show was fantastic and everything, but it's so tied to Hasselhoff. It just like you sever that tie and you sever any nostalgia for me watching this. This has just got like B-movie absolute schlock written fucking all over it.
Yeah, I think having Daniel LaRusso and what's his name, Tommy, I can't remember the actor's name. Something is Zed. Is some surname begins with Zed? Is it? Anyway, the guy who plays Tommy, he's fantastic. He's fucking hilarious. And they're the big draw for me. So it's, if you're not going to have the Hasselhoff in a remake of Knight Rider, I mean, Tesla's probably do most of the shit that Knight Rider's car used to do. But
Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter released a new image. Do you see that one with Ryan Gosling? Well, it's just black and white image where he's just standing there, but it's just almost just confirmation that like it is actually happening, that we have an actual a proper photo from it. Mia Goth and Amy Adams, and it's just Sean Levy. I'd love if they put out the trailer and just like for a Star Wars trailer from the director of Deadpool and Wolverine. But even just the fact that like he's got that colossal movie made $1.5 billion behind him going into this. Yeah, hopefully it'll be good, because just like Superman and Fantastic Four, we've said, like there's a lot riding on this movie as well, because the utter fucking shite that preceded it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks class, even though it's just one shot. Just Ryan Gosling in Star Wars movie. Fucking yeah, sign me up. Anything else? That was pretty much it on my end as well. So let's get stuck into what we've been watching and playing this week then. So with your week off, we begin going fucking mental.
Yeah, I did. I watched. Well, I didn't watch a massive amount of. I'm gonna be honest. Like Alien Earth, it's not really grabbing me in, man. I really liked the first episode, but I'm kind of getting a bit. I don't even know if I want to continue watching it. Like it's really turning me off. I'm just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like. I think Sydney Chandler's. That character is being in the body. I think it's a good idea and the reasons behind it. But the whole team basically being kids in the adults' bodies, it stopped being interesting very, very quickly. I'm just not really into it. It's a bit weird. It's
not up to date with it.
No, I haven't watched
episode 4.
No, I've watched the first 3, and I started episode 4 and got maybe 20 minutes in. I was like, oh, look, I'm just not into it. But I don't like. What I might do is just wait for the thing to finish and just. I'll steam through it, whatever, all in one go or something. But I'm not really too pushed on watching it, which is a bummer because I was so excited for it.
Yeah, like just on that, when I finally got around to watching, the second and third episode, because I really liked the first one. The music thing at the end credits is a real fucking problem for me. Just when it cuts into just a rock tune, it's
metal.
What are you doing?
It's metal. Metal features so heavily in it, and it just feels so out of place.
So fucking out of place. It's kind of like, what the fuck, And if that continues throughout the entire series, if you get to a really enticing end sequence or a cliffhanger or something, some death metal shit comes on, like what are you doing? Like if somebody is editing it and going, yeah, I'm into this band, can I put them at the end? It's like, no, you can't. What I'm liking about it is the stuff we like, just it's little things like when they're walking down a corridor and it just looks like the detail in the corridor and the problem after I think I'm halfway through episode 3. The problem is that I'm still thinking about those things rather than the story. I'm still kind of happy that it kind of looks and feels like Alien, but that can only get you so far. I'm not really into the characters as much. There's so many kind of TV moments, if you know what I mean, where they're playing, like there's one part where some guy's running down, the aliens chasing him down a corridor, And it's a long enough corridor. And when he gets to the fucking elevator, the doors just open and close just so quickly because they have to, or else he'd be fucking murdered by the alien. It's just like very convenient. And then there's another bit where I think she has the alien's inside mouth and she traps it, and the alien's trying to get away and she's trying to pull it into a doorway or something. Just like, why wouldn't the alien just go with her and just slice her to pieces, and his tail can't reach her? Just like, I know their tails are really fucking long. It could slice her fucking head off. Just little things like that, just to kind of manufacture the tension and stuff. When it shows its kind of TV moments, kind of takes me out of it. But I've heard good things about episode 4. Some people have best alien thing ever. And
we'll give
that a watch.
Yeah, like I said, I'll probably watch it when it's all done. The only other thing I watched, and this isn't super new, it's from the earlier on in the year. It was a BBC show called Patience with Laura Fraser. It's kind of like a police procedural kind of thing. And she takes on under her wing to help her on the team this autistic girl who works in like the filing thing, but it's just well acted, and yeah, it's very enjoyable for like six episodes long. And I was like, we'll see. I was just kind of watching it because I'm a Laura Fraser fan. I was like, I'll give it a go, but it's actually pretty decent. And then playing wise, I finished Link Between Worlds and moved on to Phantom Hourglass, and I've completely forgot that the entire game is played with the stylus. Like I was, you're not using controls buttons at all. Everything is done with the stylus.
I've never played that.
You lead Link around, and I forgot that, but you lead him around. You've got a Navi style fairy on screen. She's basically your cursor, so wherever you drag her, he follows around. After.
Oh wow, okay.
And like it's a great little game. It's just I don't know how I managed to forget that, because I played that game the whole way through. And then I'd like this week. I imagine I'll be giving up handheld stuff because Star Wars Outlaws, I didn't play that, and it's out this week on the Switch. Hollow Knight Silk Song is out this week, and Hell Is Us is out this week. So like it's a bunch of
wow.
I'm pretty sure Silk Song is on Game Pass. So I'll probably pick up Outlaws so I'll be able to play that on the couch then because it's on the Switch, and then see about Hell Is Us if I have time. I'll get stuck into that as well because that looks cool. But that's everything from me. What about you?
Well, this week my retro handheld gaming device arrived after a few weeks of waiting. And wouldn't you know, the same thing as you, they fucking delivered it with 7,000 games on it. Just like, I don't remember asking for that, fuck's sake. And Jesus, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of fun. Straight away I went in and was playing Alien 3 on the SNES because it's just the first thing that kind of came up on the titles. I was like, I'll check that out. 2 hours later, just like, I got as far as I could at it. It's just too hard. Like, it's just too hard. There's no real quick save or checkpoints, and it's lethal, but just a lot of fun playing Batman Forever on the SNES as well, and going back to playing Deep Space Nine on the SNES. Deep Space Nine on the SNES is atrocious. It's just appalling. But just like the buzz of just turning on these games and just not only playing the game, but it's like it transports you back to, whatever it was, 92 or 93, when you go, and I remember buying that game in a certain shop down in Cork or whatever, and it's just like, oh, it's fucking brilliant. But then I did spend about 2.5 hours trying to put a new operating system onto it just to make it a nicer way of going through the games. And I know you've kind of delved into that stuff as well, but it can be a little cumbersome, changing micro SD cards around the place, but it's not as tedious as the Steam Deck, which is like, everyone tells you online, it's so easy just to do this file and this and this and blah, blah, blah. But if something goes wrong, you're just looking at this Linux-based fucking file structure. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. But so that has been taking up most of my time. Dipped into a few other games. Kirby the Forgotten Lands.
Oh yeah.
Been playing that because my daughter remembered that it came out, and I was like, shit, it's because the Switch 2 version is 80 fucking euros for like a game that's 2 years old or something. So I saw online that there's a demo available. So I was like, I'll just get the demo. And she's been playing the same 3 levels for 2 days. Okay, she knows it's not the real game. But I'll just keep playing that level. And I also, for some reason, she wanted to play Power Wash Simulator. So I got the demo for that as well to get another 3 levels. One of those levels is a giant fucking American, 5-bedroom house covered in shit. So she's just sitting there in a Switch going around cleaning fucking windows.
Peace and quiet.
Weird fucking, total nerd. Like, she's like, oh, look, I just cleaned the front garage door. Like, yeah, well done.
Why don't you go and clean the actual garage door?
Yeah, clean your fucking room, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. So that's been a lot of buzz this week. So I haven't played any kind of current games. It's all just nostalgia stuff and Kirby and washing fucking houses. So let's then get stuck into our movie of the week, which is Caught Stealing from Darren Aronofsky. Take it away, Philly.
Yeah, cheers, Des. As you say, this movie is Caught Stealing. I suppose that the for those of you at home who are new, we will do the majority of this discussion will be spoiler free with a few spoilers at the end, but we'll give you plenty of warning. So this one is a dark crime comedy, I guess. So it's directed and produced by Aronofsky, but written by Charlie. The screenplay was written by Charlie Huston, based on his book of the same name. Starring Austin Butler, Regina King, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, and the absolutely wonderful Carol Kane, because I didn't know she was in this. And I was absolutely delighted when she popped up. The score was done by Idols, a British band, but they performed the score that was written by Rob Simonson. And then, the budget was $40 million. I don't know how much it's made because it only just came out a couple of days ago. I'm not sure what it's on at the moment. But Daz, I'll tell you, before we get into any specifics, give me your overall view on this one. What did you think?
I really enjoyed this. This was another wonderful movie where I went in not knowing a fucking thing about it. I hadn't even seen the poster. When you suggested it to me during the week, I said, what will we do? And you said, the new Aronofsky movie. And I'm a fan of his stuff, but I had no idea what you were talking about. It was brilliant. And the only thing that I caught actually when I was just trying to get the ticket, I just caught the word baseball star or something. I was like, oh, fuck, Caught Stealing. Oh, yeah, stealing base and baseball. So I went in thinking of some kind of baseball drama or something. I don't know what the hell was going on. And I just, really enjoyed it. The performances are great. The cast is great. As the movie expands, you get to see more and more of the kind of ensemble cast. And they're just fantastic. I particularly love just the setting of it, like the late 90s and how he has caught the kind of vibe of New York. I love when directors have the balls to do that. There's a lot of exterior shots where there's, you got to rent all these cars and they have to get this kind of period setting, even though like late 90s calling that period now is just like fucking ridiculous. But it's strange. Like it's kind of dark. It's quite funny at times. The tone at times is kind of all over the place. Some scenes
that's one that I would say
really dark, and then the next scene is kind of played where it's played kind of comedic. It starts really kind of straight laced, kind of crime caper, I guess, thriller, and then it almost like ends. The latter half is like it's trying to be a Coen Brothers kind of vibe or something like that. Yeah, but that was a little uneven, but just really enjoyed it. I mean, Austin Butler, thought he was great. I never saw Elvis, so this was the first time I've really seen him kind of lead the line in a movie. I thought he's pretty good. But anything with Regina King, all day long, she's fucking brilliant.
She's brilliant. I think almost a lot of similar for yourself. Tonally, it is. It's all over the place, and I don't think it quite as it is, as you said. Crime caper is probably the best way to say it, and it's not a super original story. I mean, this guy unwittingly gets caught in the middle of it, and has the worst day ever kind of and it's just it's not super new, yet it doesn't really feel like it comes together as a crime movie because the tone is shifting all over the place. It doesn't feel as like a cohesive, crime comedy. But like that being said, and I suppose it's by saying that as well, it doesn't. You'd be forgiven if you were surprised that this was an Aronofsky movie because it's surprisingly lighthearted in moments. Like some moments are proper laugh out loud stuff. For Jesus, I wouldn't have picked that for him at all. So fair fucking play to him. That's great. Like, but no, for most part, I love that. The performances were incredible. I thought Austin Butler was brilliant. And Matt Smith, I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic. I would have loved to have more of him and more of from the trailer. Anyways, watch a trailer. You there's small scenes with Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio, and I would have loved to see more of them and their characters.
They deserve a spin-off. Deserve a spin-off prequel movie or a show. You'd watch them fucking all day long. They're absolutely excellent.
They're excellent together as well. They're really, really great. I loved it. Like in the all that stuff with them and they're speaking Yiddish and stuff. It's just it's brilliant. It really, really is. There's a couple of shock moments in it as well. Where I was like, oh shit, didn't see that coming. I suppose we'll jump in. Let's stick on performances then. Like, was there anybody that what specifically jumped out to you that you enjoyed the most?
Just Austin Butler. Like, I just wasn't aware that he could kind of carry this type of movie. Because there's so much stuff about the Elvis movie and not having seen it and all the run up to the Oscars and stuff like that. He kind of annoyed me. Just like, not personally, but just kind of, I didn't really get him up to that point. But then when you see this and he's oozes charisma. Like there's a moment in it where he's dressed in like cargo pants and he's got that white long sleeve thing under an orange t-shirt. It just looks like Brad Pitt's Get Up from the Mexican or something. I was just like, he just reminded me of kind of a young Brad Pitt when he's kind of an actor that's getting past that whole pretty boy. Oh, he can act. And it's like, fuck yeah, he can act. He's excellent. And he has a lot to do as well. Like he pulls off the charisma. It's a couple of, I wouldn't say action kind of pieces, but like he gets a shit kicked out of him, and that's pretty good acting as well. Everyone he has to deal with, he bounces off brilliantly, and he kind of has to carry it for the most part. But I thought he was kind of the standout for me in terms of just thinking, wow, you can actually do this. This is very impressive. But Regina King, I just fucking, like, you could go down through the entire list of everyone and think they all deliver fantastic performances. But Regina King she's just fantastic. I love her and everything she does. She just fits into any role that she's in. Like effortlessly. It's unbelievable. But they have lovely scenes together. Austin and Regina. Who was your standout? It's so hard to fucking I think Austin was fantastic. I thought he was great. He was the real, I don't know, flawed hero. Like he is. He wants to be a good guy, and everybody seems to love him. He's the life and soul of the party and stuff. But at the same time, if you go into it, he does have dark stuff that he's gone through himself, but he wants to do the right thing. He rings his mom every day. She leaves voice messages him. He's really close. He tries to look after everybody in the bar. He's in great terms with everybody. There's no getting aggro. He's like, oh, okay, like, you can't dance. Tell you what, come over here. I'll buy you some shots. And he seems to be a good dude, and he's very straight away, very likable. But like some of the action scenes, like he gets fucking thrown around the place. But also like he's react. Some of his the physical work is fantastic. Like even the comedy physical work as well. And he gets you see in the trailer, like he gets getting punched in the face and all this kind of stuff. Like he's doing it spot on. It's the stumbling around, the hammered drunk and all. It's all just like, it's really, really good physical acting. I thought he was great, but I still have to go with Matt Smith, even though he's not in it as much. He was pitch perfect. I was pissing myself laughing at him. Even when he wasn't saying anything, like when he's driving the car and stuff, he's not even saying anything, and I've got a smile on my face looking at him. It was just, it's just some bits.
Yeah, I thought he was great. Like I really, really did. I don't think there's anybody that I thought was a bit meh. I think the characters could have been developed more for sure. But yeah, like I have to agree on Regina King being fantastic as well. I mean, is there anything in it that she's not fucking class in?
But Matt Smith had to double take when he comes out into the hallway. It's just the haircut and fucking punk. And just like, is that fucking Matt Smith? Are you joking me? And he's just full on. He could easily venture into kind of becoming a caricature of, but it just doesn't. He just plays it so well, so straight, even though he's a fucking wild kind of madman. I just wish he was in it more, but obviously for the plot he cannot be. But when he does come back into the movie, it's that's when it's kind of weird. It's almost like when he comes back in, maybe in the latter half of the movie, it seems like the movie tone is completely changed. So
Yeah, that's the Coen Brothers
he kind of comes
apart
into
from
it. It's kind of like,
in.
okay, you fit more here than it was just kind of jarring that like it is quite funny and quite absurd him being a character in these sequences. But yeah.
But just everything, I love it. In fact, just everything from having the fucking cat to the fact that he takes his own, it looks like his own personally made sunroof that he made himself in the car just so his mohawk can stick up through the roof. Like, it's just great little touches like that. His car is a piece of shit. Yeah. It's just, it's just a lot of fun. It's just, I can't really fault it on acting. I think directing wise, as great as it is, and as you said, you've talked about how a lot of the shots that he has, he does seem to go for overly complicated shots when they're not really needed. Like there's some stuff, I think even in the small scenes, even in the scene in the bar and stuff like that, it's just like, you don't really need to have, the camera doesn't need to follow this person to the back of the room, or we don't need a POV from that. And it's almost doing it because maybe it's because it's such a by the numbers story that we've heard before that he wants to make it different than what we've seen.
Bit of flair,
yeah.
Like at the start of the movie when there's a lovely kind of panning around crane shot that comes down through the city, and I think that's almost a homage to how 90s movies began in the city. It's just like, right, instead of an establishing shot, wide shot, they kind of go, right, okay, we'll show this car and we'll track around, and the camera and the crane comes down, pans around down this street and down in, and then you reveal a bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. But there's the good and bad of drone shots here. Like there's one shot where Austin Butler is getting out of a window of his apartment and he's climbing down, the stairwells on the side of the building. And there's a drone shot high up, but it's just a simple shot that's just like kind of tracking in on him, like as he's coming down the stairs outside the building. And it's just fucking brilliant. It's just like perfect cinematic drone shot. But then later on, there's one that goes through, that where that thing in New York where they have that it's that statue, the big statue of the planet, whatever. It's in Men in Black at the end of it.
You live there, man, not me. I
can't remember what it's called. People will know what it is anyway. And the camera just the drone comes down and goes through it's very Fincher-esque, like it goes through the little gaps in the metal kind of statue, and it's kind of like, that's cool, but it's kind of pointless. It kind of sticks out as someone went, hey, I bet you I can fly that drone through that thing. Someone went, okay.
Actually,
why?
Can I ask you, this is off topic slightly, right? But those fire escapes, right, that the Americans have in their buildings, not something we have over here, but they have over there, like, so many of them are covered in fucking razor wire. Like, and that's obviously so people can't get up and get in and smash in your window and rob your shit by climbing up your fire escape. But covering your exit in case of fire with razor wire, when so many, and I've seen it in so many movies, surely that's ridiculously dangerous to the point where police should be taking it down or illegal. Am I completely going mad, or?
Well, I've never had to get up or get down one, but it's cool when you can just open the window and just sit outside and just read a book or be on your laptop or whatever. Fire trucks flying by. I never treated it. I treated it as a balcony, and never just like if there was a fire, I wouldn't even think of just trying to get down there, because
it just always stands out to me. It just always stands out to me watching these movies, and like, holy shit, man, this whole thing, it looks like an absolute death trap. Like, you're better off chances with the fire. And I'm glad you kind of agree with some of the shots, but for the most part, it's shot absolutely
looks gorgeous,
man. It really, really is, and it does capture that vibe. I wasn't sure. It's late 90s or mid-90s, or like early to mid, because I was looking at the mobile phones that
98, I think it's 97, 98, but it does have that, like, that late 90s New York is obviously a wonderful place and a wonderful setting for this type of crime caper of sorts, and it's just a fiercely bustling city, and it gets that across. But it was back when it was still pretty fucking dangerous, especially where it's set down the alphabet streets, and it was the Lower East Side or something, where it's just fucking like nowadays that's all hipster fucking cafes and uber cool. Back then it's just like, woof, it's fucking super dodge, man. But yeah, it just looked fantastic, and I'd love to see behind the scenes of this, because I think there's a lot of visual effects in that. Obviously you're renting old cars to go around the city and stuff, But even just changing the pedestrian crossings to the old ones, I was just like, that's fucking cool. That's a visual effect. It looks absolutely perfect. Kind of hidden effects, but he's going to do some interesting shots. I thought there was going to be a bit more kind of flair, but it's nice to see him not so much dumb it down, but steer away from those kind of crazy and wacky shots and compositions, because it's Aronofsky kind of jumping into a genre movie, and which is interesting.
It's still it was still enough for me to kind of to notice it, given the type of movie that it is. But yeah, I think it's I guess it is him putting his kind of stamp on it, I guess. I wanted to talk about the score. I thought the score was great because it really has like it's almost like a fucking punk, like punk, post-punk music, the guts of the way through it. It's great, man. It really is, especially for those action scenes and the stuff in the car and all the rest of it, like the high paced stuff. It really, really fits it well.
When it comes in, it's punchy, and it's just, I remember watching it in the cinema just going, I love when that happens, when the pace starts to pick up in a movie and you're kind of going, okay, here we got a fucking action set piece or whatever. Or even in this, it's just the tensions are heightened and he has to do something, or there's people outside his house or outside his apartment, and that fucking kind of bass kicks in the music. You're just like, oh, this is fucking badass. It's the kind of thing you'd listen to in your car just driving around.
Actually, and he
shooting an Uzi out the window.
he even gives Idols a shout out. Like, they're in the car at one point and he's telling them to turn off the fucking music or whatever, and he's, hey man, that's Idols. And obviously they're the ones that compose the fucking thing. But that score is fantastically written. I think he's done a bunch of good stuff as well, your man Simonson, like what's it called, 500 Days or 50 Days of Summer, 500 Days of Summer.
Oh yeah,
Rain's Gone, and a few other ones like that. He's done some great soundtracks. But yeah, I love the soundtrack. I thought it went down really, really well for me. This is the punk rock for something like this, just suit it right down to the ground.
Mm-hmm. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, what about? I mean, the cinematography wise, like I don't know the cinema. I was trying to look up the name of the cinematographer, and I fucking forgot to do it. But most of the shots, as you said, are just fucking gorgeous. The way they've set most of these set pieces up are just absolutely, really, really, really gorgeous sets for what could have been, as you said, a grimy kind of maybe run down kind of area. It felt, I don't know, almost like homely, or there was something very comfortable about it, especially the bar that he's in. There was something very neighborhood kind of thing about it that I was like, oh, that looks fucking great. Like, that just reminded me of, almost us being in the cobblestone in Smithfield back when we were in. It's just, going down to that local where kind of anything goes, and, the lads are doing fucking coke on the bar and everything. It's just, I loved some of those shots are really, really nice. Some of those scenes are great.
He's Matthew, I think it's French, Libatique or something. He's worked with Aronofsky for, I think, all of his movies back to Requiem for a Dream. And
that makes sense then.
And he's, I think he's maybe, I don't know if he won an Oscar, but he did like A Star Is Born, I think, and Black Swan. I think he was nominated for them. But he's fantastic. But they I must look into this, but they've definitely added, because I think it was shot on digital, but they've added kind of film grain over it to give it that kind of 90s film look.
Okay.
Which just adds to the look of it, especially like the city stuff is fantastic, but just the way you get to light, like these old kind of New York 90s apartments that are kind of like, they're spacious, but they're still kind of gritty and grimy, and it's just, everything's just so darkly lit. It's just fucking, it's just it's a lovely city to look at in the 90s, but I wouldn't want to be living in that apartment. Fucking dangerous stuff, man.
I think, like you said, his apartment, like, I think his table is like 2 plastic beer crates with like a police do not cross wooden sign fucking stuff stapled to the top of it.
Fucking magic.
Yeah, it's great. Really, really enjoyed it. But like maybe just move on to just talk about the story a little bit. I mean, not to go too far into, but as you said, it's mentioned he was going to be a big time baseball thing, and now he's a guy kind of a little bit down on his luck, works in the bar, dating Zoe Kravitz in it, and the story, like, It's not nothing new, but I did find the characters to be kind of the main draw for me rather than the actual story, because you have seen, as I said at the start, you have seen this kind of thing before, where it's our hero or our guy gets in and does he learn a lesson or whatever kind of thing, but he gets drawn in and it's kind of one thing going wrong after the other, or there's these guys are after them, but then this other group of guys are after them. I mean, this is just stuff we've seen a billion times before. And so to get me hooked in a lot of times, it needs to have an interesting cast of characters. It needs to have, at least if the story isn't going to be super original, these give me some. And I really, really enjoyed them. And I couldn't agree more about what you said at the start about having a spin-off with Leah Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio. I'd love to see their whole world organization, family thing. They're just fantastic. More background on them would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd totally echo that in terms of it's not that you know where this story is going, because it does take a few kind of twists and a couple of shocking moments, but the setup is very not familiar, but it's just the guy, the superstar that could have been a superstar. Now he's just working in a bar and he's kind of given up on his dream and all this kind of shit. Not that he's going to get his dream being a baseball star, but you just want to see, what lessons is he going to learn, or where is he going to go in the story. But the fact that all the characters are just fantastic, that it's straight away when you meet, let's say, Matt Smith's character, and you're just that's fucking cool. I wonder, and because I hadn't seen the trailer, it's are they going to fucking do something? Is it something between them? Are they going to get together? Are they going to steal something? What's going on? But then it's straight away when the Russian guys, that when they arrive, and just how fucking bananas, and I'm pretty sure some of this has to be seen in the trailer. I'm not spoiling it, but how bananas that scene is, and how visceral and violent they are, even without doing anything at that moment. It's just you're in 100%, just going, oh fucking hell, I get out of there, just get the fuck out of whatever they want. You just how, because you believe him as a character, that he's not gonna cross them or whatever. He's kind of fuck that, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He doesn't want anything to do with them, but those guys are just so believably fucking bananas. That one guy in particular, Pavel or whatever.
With the birthmark. He's calling him Microbe, he keeps calling everything.
There's one point where he gets down on all fours and then just headbutts him from the ground, and just going, wow. That's so weird, wonderful, wacky, but just brilliant. But from that moment, you're kind of in, and there's so many lovely moments with Austin and Zoe. There's some great scenes, fucking amazing chemistry. And then it's everyone that Austin has a scene with, apart from his mother. He kind of wanted to have a scene with that, but we'll get into that in spoilers. But
I love the neighbor Dwayne. His interactions with him, fantastic.
Yeah. Even a small little side character that's kind of played for comedy, still just is a totally believable kind of dweeb that just keeps answering the door and just guys, will you shut up? It's fucking great. Yeah, it just everything, all the characters, but all the ways that the characters interact, and there's different scenarios and different scenes with all of them. It all just connects very, very, very well, story wise, but also performance wise.
Yeah, definitely agree. I guess now, after going through the music, performance, everything else, there's nothing really else to kind of to go through on it, apart from to maybe give it a star rating, and then we'll jump into some spoiler stuff. So what would you give this now if you're going to put stars on it?
I'd say 4, a very, very good 4. I just thought it was very, very entertaining. I definitely watch it again. It really does come down to just the performances are excellent across the board, and the story is good enough with a good amount of twists and turns, so you don't completely see the ending while you're watching it, and you're so engrossed by the characters. It's not that type of movie where you're looking that far ahead anyway. You're totally in the scene. Music, cinematography, Aronofsky should do more genre stuff. Try a rom-com or something, see what he comes up with. It's brilliant, and it's deliciously violent as well. Yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah. When they show, as you mentioned at the start, when they actually show his injury of White's not playing baseball, that's fucking vicious looking.
It's pretty grim.
Yeah, but I agree with most of that. That'd be somewhere between 3.5 to 4 myself. I think because the tone is a little all over the place, but this you could easily just put that down to being, Aronofsky hasn't really done a movie exactly like this before but it's still I'd probably happy enough to go 3.5, maybe even 4. It's just a lot of fun. It's the time flew by. Music's great. It's really entertaining. Austin Butler's super charismatic, and I definitely wasn't bored. Didn't feel it lulled at any point. The tone might have changed, but at any point I didn't feel okay. Let's move it along, please. Like it was. I thought it moved along quite well. So no, I'd be definitely a recommend for me as well. Why don't we move on then to some spoilers? So if you're heading off now because you want to catch the movie, we'll see you at the next episode. But if you're hanging around, let's jump into some spoilers. I suppose you mentioned the mom, the mother, his mother. I didn't pick up on the voice
Me neither.
I didn't pick it up at all until obviously we see her then at the end, and it's Laura Dern. But I couldn't place the voice at all through the movie. But I wonder why. Why is it Laura Dern? Why is for such a small role one that was.
Yeah, I was looking into this to try and see if there was a reason for it. Because again, I don't know if we touched on it, that it's an hour and 45 minutes. So it's a pretty brisk movie. And then to the fact that he chats to his mum on the phone and she leaves messages and didn't cop any of that. But I thought at some point you're going to get a scene maybe with his mother, because he has this kind of, not revelation, but like the moment where he's just like saying sorry, and his character arc turning moment, however small it is delivered to his mum on the phone. And you're just like, that's one of my other main negatives, that in that moment I was like, oh, why I know she lives somewhere else or whatever, but it just wasn't hitting as hard as it should. And then when you see this fucking Laura Dern, it's like, why the fuck? Why is she not in a scene with him?
Yeah.
Because I looked into it, and there was no reason for the casting, but Austin Butler said that himself, like Laura Dern looks like his mother, and they met each other like 5 or 6 years ago at some awards thing, and they just became like completely like soulmates, not in that way, but just like kind of lost fucking souls or something. He was just chatting for ages at some after party, and he was just going, she's just an amazing person, looks like my mom and all this stuff. And I was like, as I was reading that, I was like, why didn't you fucking get to act opposite her there? If that's
because we could see some great chemistry
then. To tie that in, absolutely, that would have been, because she's so prevalent in the movie and a big part of his life, with the phone calls and stuff. And I just couldn't believe that Laura Dern just like, oh my God, you're in the movie for like 15 seconds. Like, what the fuck is that all about? And for something, it's not like, oh, they cut it out for, to they want to get it under 2 hours or something. It's just like, you could have stuck a scene in or something towards the end. Just have them in a shot together to really sell the character arc. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Like I love Laura Dern, so it was obviously great to see her. But it was at the same time, I didn't even realize that whole back that they actually had a kind of off-screen friendships. That makes me even more annoyed.
Absolutely.
but I suppose the only other big one, because we're talking about shocks, we have to talk about the big shock. I did not see. That's one where I didn't see coming, because I caught Regina King's turn. I was kind of like, I had a feeling that she was going to end up being a bad guy, and I started. And then when she's sitting in the cafe, which is when he eventually finds out, when she's sitting there with him, it's like, I'm really feeling it more and more now. And then all of a sudden, it's like, all right,
they walk in,
But
that caught me by surprise.
I didn't get the. I thought they were going to show up and Zoe Kravitz was going to be tied up, or they've put her in the hospital, or they've kidnapped her. To walk in and see her on the floor, holding her head, eyes wide open, blood all over the floor, like, whoa, I didn't see that coming at all.
That was excellent. Yeah, because like at that point you're just going, Jesus, he's responsible for so many deaths in this movie. Like everyone dies bar Pavel, the most evil fucker of all. Like he just gets knocked out, I think, but everyone else is murdered and killed. People that just the guy who owns his fucking bar, you know what I mean? Just it's bananas. But yeah, Zoe Kravitz dying, that was like a massive, like, what the fuck? Because it's just so dark at that moment where it's just like, oh my God, this is really like, there's some kind of quirky, funny moments. It's not full out humor or whatever. But that happens, and then I think it's like a few scenes later or something, you have him chatting to Matt Smith or something, and it's a bit more jokey and kind of funny or something in the car. there was a lot of that where you just have just a dark fucking scene of somebody being shot because of Austin Butler's character, because of the story, and it's in gruesome ways, like it's pretty vicious. But then there's kind of some humorous stuff follows very quickly afterwards, and I was just like, why is that? I wish that wasn't jarring. And when the Coen brothers do it, it's not jarring, or anyone that is trying to make that type of movie, it's not jarring at all, because the world is kind of that way anyway. But this one starts really like an Aronofsky's version of 90s New York. And it's just that tone. Like, it's just very strange. It's not a terrible thing, but it's just very, it jumps out big time.
But at the same time, I'm glad, like, I kind of wish that maybe the following scenes had have played on it a bit more, or showed him, how upset he was about the amount of people he's getting killed. But just because I think it's great, I'm glad that they did kill her off, because it really did surprise me, and really kind of went, Jesus Christ, like, that's the stakes are obviously gone even higher for him now. It's not just a case if they're going to batter him if his because of what his roommate's done. Yeah, it's having real world effect on the people he actually loves and cares about, and like fucking it just really caught me off guard, because I just think, as I said, this isn't a movie. It isn't super original kind of story. I just figured she's going to be caught. Eventually, he'll end up fucking freeing her. This every man,
like every other movie.
Action. Yeah, so it was like, that's probably what we're going to see. So to have her to walk in and see the fucking hole in the side of her head, like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, you went there. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to think of any other kind of spoilery parts that we haven't kind of touched on.
Like the car crash scene is excellent and vicious, and there's a few moments where he has that fantastic front on shot of the car just hitting the fucking post, and just metal wrapping around in slow motion. It's vicious, and him coming to and looking at where his mate is, who's flown through the fucking windscreen dead on the bonnet. But then when you look down and you see what's happened to his knee, because you see scars during some of the scenes of Zoe Kravitz and some interrogation scenes. You see scars on his knees, and you're just like, they're going to show us that. Like, they're going to show us that at some point, and it's fucking oh my god, it's disgusting. It's just his knees just been smashed to fucking pieces of bones and guts, and
and I think that the actual gore stuff as well, because we see that particular scene, but that started his life on a different trajectory, is we see that scene mirrored when his life goes on another trajectory again. Obviously when he crashes the car with Liev Schreiber and thing, and Vincent D'Onofrio, and then he starts his new life in Tulum, which is where Regina King wanted to go. But we see that's that scene as well, like, even that's vicious when you look back and see Vincent D'Onofrio fucking bleeding out. Liev Schreiber's gone through the fucking window of the car, and it's just those scenes, like his mate who's gone through the window has fucking glass sticking out of the side of his head and stuff. Like, when they do violence, like pulling the staples out of his fresh surgery and stuff that, like they're right in on it. Quickest surgery recovery of all time, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's like no bother, and because he got some fucking beat down. Like, that was kind of vicious.
The fact that he pisses himself because his kidney has ruptured and broken, and there's blood, and so he wakes up and it's like, oh, you've been in the hospital for 2 days. I gotta get out of here. I can't afford this. I said, just get a taxi. He's like, you've just woken up from having your kidney removed, 2 days of surgery, getting the shit beaten out. He's like, yeah, I better get in a taxi and get out of here. Like,
but he does some great acting when he's in that interrogation room after she's been killed. And he doesn't really say anything, but he's just sitting there, and you see his eyes start to just well up and just tears. I just love that when just doesn't do anything, and you're like, fucking, this guy's the real deal. Like, I just really, really impressed with him. I have to watch Elvis now, and I don't know why I haven't.
I quite enjoyed it. I know it's mainly a Tom Hanks movie, really, but it's what I did find weird about the alcohol thing. Just because you mentioned the drunk, is that we see him, he drinks too much. So obviously he goes out, he parties, blah blah blah. Like, he finds out he has the kidney removed, and so she's already telling him he needs to ease up on the drink. And now we find out he's lost one kidney. Alcohol has to go completely. They make as if it's a massive deal about it. Like, she's really hammering it home. We see him open his fridge, and he has to like fucking pour the bottles of spirits and stuff down the sink. Like, it's going to be this really big deal. he doesn't really stir over too much. Like he's it's almost like a few minutes later, he's in the bar and he ends up having a shot with them because they egg him on, and it takes about 2 seconds of egging him on, and he's like, oh yeah, fuck. And next thing he's blotto drunk again, and she has to, whatever, help him because he's hammered drunk. But they very quickly shift from what seems like it's going to be this harrowing issue and this battle with alcohol he has to just being, no, we'll just forget that and move on. Like, I don't really know why you introduced it in the first place.
And that's what it would make sense if something like that was missing in a movie that's a little bit longer. If this was 2 hours and 20 minutes and you're kind of going, all right, do we stick in the mother and a bit more to really show his battle with alcohol? Because it's very obviously meant to be an issue. He's drinking in the car when it crashes with his buddy, and it's just like, all right, and works in a bar, and I know people that work in bars in New York and how fucking difficult it is to not surround yourself or not dive into that kind of culture. But yeah, it is. It's because when he fell off the wagon, he was on the wagon for like a day and just get shit-faced in the bar. I was wondering, like, is that going to come back to haunt him in some way? Is there going to be more scenes of him maybe struggling, or is it going to physically do something to him? Just fucking but it's kind of like, I just want to drink. Then he did, got fucked up, and now the movie's happening, and we're just kind of forgetting that part. And it's
I think if you're not going to invest, exactly, if you're not going to invest in that more, then I don't really see the point in having it in the movie at all, But I mean, look, it's only a small gripe, But it's, no, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, spoiler wise, that I wanted to jump into. You?
No, it was good. Apart from Matt Smith's character having the best cat food bowls of all time. Or one's just red with the word piss on it, the water. And the other one's just got the word shit spray painted on it for food.
Special shout out to the makeup effects guys, because that lump on his head because he's after getting walloped. You see the baseball thing in the trailer, like, I'm like, what the fuck? And you see the small little cut, but because it's a few minutes later, he's gone down to the car, and it's just this massive, like, cartoon sized bump, and it's like that. I've had that, like, bang my head off a press and it's come out that far. I know it's fucking sore. I can only imagine what it's like getting smacked with a fucking baseball bat. But it's just brilliant. It's just great, and his whole acting woozy and all because of it is just it's brilliant. So that's why it has like that's the right amount of humor when you talk about the humor in it. It's not like it's not an intentionally funny film, but it's got really funny moments. Like I think dark comedy is kind of the
when the cop blocks his jacks. Blocks the toilet. He couldn't give a fuck. The cop comes out, flusher, sorry, whatever you told me to do, couldn't do it, and just walks out. It's like, thanks a minute. His unblocked the fucking, oh my God. Yeah, just nicely funny moments.
Right, cool. Well, that's it. That's our review. We recommend it. Yeah, 100%. Go and check it out while it's still in the cinema. It's only an hour and 45. Definitely worth checking out.
Super duper. Thanks for taking us through that. Yeah, really enjoyable film. Definitely catch it again when it comes on streaming. So, okay, that is an end to this week's episode. Thanks a million, as always, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and everything in between. And we'll be back next week with another movie and some other bits and bobs. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.